Hello and welcome to the first episode of Uniper's Market Insights in 2024. My name is Florian Oberländer. I will be your host for today. And as usual, I'm very delighted to welcome Uniper's Chief Analyst, Gregor Pett. Hi, Gregor.
Hi, Florian. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. And as usual, we prepared some very interesting topics. We will discuss potential price drivers for this year. We will take a closer look to the current situation in the Red Sea and what impact it could have on the European markets. Then we will take a closer look also on power prices and how they are built. And as a specialty topic, we will discuss the bidding zone review. However, we start as usual with the current situation on the energy markets. Gregor, in 2023, we saw still elevated price levels, however, not as volatile as in 2022. And towards the end of the year, we kind of saw a bearish development there, some temporary price spikes due to geopolitical conflicts that we saw in the world. How has that carried on to 2024 so far?
Yeah, these price developments have continued in 2024. As you rightly said, we've seen a much calmer energy market towards the end of 2023. And the reason being, on the one hand, relatively stable supply, but also weaker demand due to the, in general, slower economic development. So that has led to a slowdown on the demand for energy. And together with a good supply, that has led to falling prices. Yeah, and part of that demand is because of the economic situation, but also because of relatively warm weather, which in particular led to lower gas prices. That, of course, in turn had then influenced the power prices as well.
Good deal. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. It's very warm again. However, as we previously discussed in the El Nino episode, that we could see those little cold spells, in Q1 of this year, especially at the very beginning of 2024. We have had that, and this was a good test, I think. How did prices react back then?
Yeah, the prices were quite unimpressed in Europe. So that was what I would say a cold episode. It wasn't really a long cold spell that would have basically put a risk to security of supply. We have seen locally some of extreme weather, but overall that was only temporarily, and we are now back into relatively warm weather. So overall, that this doesn't change the picture. That the weather has dampened demand. Yeah,
okay.
So far.
Okay, understood. Now, looking forward a little bit into 2024, we have currently some conflicts in the world, and we also always discuss economic growth in China. Do you see any potential bullish drivers for this year at this point?
Yeah, the conflicts could have, of course, a bullish impact in case they would reduce the availability of energy on a global scale. So far, that's not the case. And the prevailing effect is that these conflicts have a dampening effect on the global economy. So any kind of slowdown of trade or trade conflicts, or conflicts like in the Red Sea, where the Houthis are attacking sea-going vessels that are heading for the Red Sea and for the Suez Canal. That has a slowdown effect on global economy, and also the general concerns and the economic climate is slowing down, and that is momentarily the stronger effect as compared to a potential reduction of availability of energy. Yeah? So we don't see that right now. The energy is available. And although cargoes have to take a longer route by the Cape of Good Hope, for example, if Qatari cargoes are heading for Europe, that slowdown in sea trade has not led to reduced availability of energy on a global scale.
Okay. because this is a very relevant topic, especially when we're talking about security supply for Europe.
Yeah.
And something that we at Uniper observe very closely, especially the LNG teams, because if they wouldn't be able to transport cargoes through the Suez Canal, they have to take alternative routes, which take a little bit longer. And down the line, of course, it would impact power prices as well in Europe. Can you give us some insights on what the current situation is for the power market?
The power prices also have come down as a result of the weaker demand, but also as a result of the lower gas prices and also lower carbon prices. So whereas in 2022, we've largely seen prices on average of above 200 euros per megawatt hour, in 2023, it was less than half of that value. So this is, of course, in general, good news for the private households that have to pay those bills, and also the industrial users of electricity. So that has considerably come down, but also behind that is, of course, a weaker economic environment, which is not good news.
Of course, I think when we're talking about demand, I think it's down 5% compared to the previous year, around that, so quite significant.
Yeah.
But let's stay with power prices for a minute here, because I think it's very important to highlight this as well. How are power prices built, especially when we're talking about renewable energy or the impact of commodities to the price? Can you explain a little bit in detail how they are formed?
Yeah, so as I said, the gas price influences the power price, given that, for example, in Germany, last year, more than half of the power production came from renewable energy sources. You may ask yourself, why does the gas price even have an influence on those prices? And the reason is that the gas price is, the power price is built by the last plant that is operating, that is needed then to match the demand to produce the last kilowatt hour that is needed in the market. Yeah, and there's a unified price, so there's an auction taking place, and the most expensive plant that still is needed to fulfill the demand sets the price. That plant very often is a gas plant, in particular in those hours where renewables are either not available or are fully maxed out. So in these hours, the gas-fired plant sets the price, which means in these hours, the gas price has an influence on the power price. And this is how the electricity market works in Europe.
Yeah. Well explained. Thank you very much. And I think it's good to highlight there as well. And of course, if you don't have renewables available for whatever reason, no wind or no sun, that is much quicker to fire up a gas powered power plant. And everybody knows it from the barbecue at home. Gas is much quicker to fire up than coal, and of course we see less coal being used anyways. So this is also kind of a bridge technology there.
Absolutely, yeah.
But Gregor, let's stay with power. As a specialty topic, we wanted to discuss the bidding zone review, something that is currently in the news and will be on the agenda for 2024 for a lot of people. Can you explain a little bit what is behind the bidding zone review?
Yeah, a bidding zone, that's the area where this price formation I tried to explain earlier takes place. So in each bidding zone, you have the demand of energy, the customers that are using the power in this area, the industry that is using the power, and of course then the power plants in this area. So in Germany, we have one bidding zone only, so which means we only have one wholesale market power price in Germany, and this price formation only takes place basically in this unified area. So what you could, of course, alternatively do is you split that and you do these auctions in various areas. So in the northern area, southern area, eastern area, western area. And this could make sense because the demand and the supply in each part of the country is different. So, for example, in Germany, in the north, we have more renewable energy and comparatively less industrial consumption. In the south, there's much more industrial consumption, but less renewables. Yeah, and so it could make sense then to basically have a different price than to more optimally steer the system. Yeah, at the same time, of course, some benefit from that, others have a disadvantage. This is why the ACER, the Agency for the Coordination of the Electricity Regulators in Europe, then every couple of years has to perform a review whether the setup of the bidding zones in Europe is still optimal. And this is what they're doing at the moment. And the result could be that in Germany we see more than one bidding zone, but at the end it's a political decision whether that actually will take place. So it's not decided yet whether that will take place.
Okay. Good deal. Yeah, we will keep our listeners and viewers, of course, up to date.
Absolutely.
There as well, because it's relevant for us as a company too. So we will give you an update as soon as we have further news on this. Gregor, this is already the first episode for 2024. Thank you very much for your insights. Yes. But we will be back with more, and hope you tune in next time again. Until then, see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Looking forward to the next one.